Here in Google Sheets, I have a spreadsheet entitled Salaries. This is showing salary data from a baseball statistics website. And what I have here are just thousands and thousands of rows showing the salary for individual Major League Baseball players dating back to 1985. So to be able to see any trends, we're going to be able to create a pivot table. I'm going to start by clicking this rectangle up in the top left corner that will highlight my entire spreadsheet. And I'm going to go ahead and say Data, Pivot Table. And I'm going to make this in a new sheet. Now I have a lot of different options. I'm going to go ahead and make my rows about the years. I'm going to assume here that I'm going to make a data series, so I want to see how these different factors change over time. So the first thing I want to do is separate it by date. So now I can see that I have those date IDs going all the way from 1985 down to 2016. For values, I want to know the salaries. So I'm going to click Salary. And it starts out by doing the sum, and now I can see what the sum of all Major League Baseball salaries was for every year dating back to 1985. But perhaps that's not actually what I want. In this case, I want to be able to compare two things. So I'm going to choose under columns, I'm going to choose the league ID. So I'm going to be able to compare here the American League to the National League. And it's also going to give me a total. It's also going to give me this blank column for any that didn't include that information. In this case, it's a very clean data set, so there aren't any columns there. And this gives me the total salaries that are paid out in the two different leagues, as well as the grand total for all of those different years. I may want something other than the sum, so in this case, I'm going to change it to the average. And that will change the calculation. So now instead of giving me the sum of salaries for each of those leagues in each year, it's giving me the average salary in each league for each year. And I can do something like chart theme this. So if I select these two columns all the way down for all those years, I can go ahead and do something like insert a chart. I'm going to do a line chart in this case, and I can see how those average salaries have increased. This is not indexed for inflation. If this was something I was doing for publication, I'd want to take inflation into account since it involves money. But this is showing how those two leagues compare over time.